So now that we know what we're doing and the tools that we have to work with, let's talk about developing the plan. 4 stages to developing the plan: establish the objectives, determine the budget, allocate the budget, and then figure out whether or not you did a good job. First question we always ask in marketing. I should put this on the test. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put this on the test. What's the first question we should always ask in marketing? A, how much am I going to get paid? B, does this come with vacations? C, do I get to pick my company car? Or D, who's the customer? Who are we trying to talk to? So the first question in marketing, who's the customer? So first question, what's the target audience? And then, what do we want them to do? Remember, with business communications, it always has an objective, and you need to understand that you're investing money to accomplish that objective. So what is it that you want to happen? Do you want people to be aware? Do you want them to buy something? Is it inform, persuade, remind, build relationships? Do you want them to sign up for a mailing list? What is it they want them to do? And again, in business, and you get this in not just in marketing, but everything, a business objective needs to be specific, measurable, time-bound, and relevant to what you're trying to accomplish in your business. So an objective might be, I have a new product that I think would be attractive to women aged 18 to 34. My objective is to have 30% of people in the target audience be aware of my product after 6 months. Is that specific, time-bound, measurable, and related to the objectives? The next stage is, how much money should you invest? Standard marketing answer applies. It depends. Totally depends. Ballpark, 5% of sales into promotion, but that just varies so dramatically. In a business-to-business situation, it may be as 1% or less, very little invested in promotion because it's all relationship. In a consumer packaged goods company like a cereal company, I might be spending 20 or 25% of my sales budget on advertising because, or on promotions, because that is what it's all about. Yeah, and it varies. It's just, you do the math. Is 5% of $100,000 is $5,000. Not a lot you can do with that. You might have to spend more than 5% if you're a startup. And then if you got a $50 million company, 5% is a lot of money. Maybe you don't have to spend that much because you got scale. 4 basic approaches to budgeting, and there is no editorial comment on those. The most common approach is the percentage of sales. So your marketing budget or your promotion budget is just, what percentage of sales, 5% of sales, 3% of sales. The advantage is that it's easy to compute. The disadvantage is you had made it easy to compute. What's the disadvantage? May or may not be relevant. So we're just talking about budget now, not whether you're spending the money wisely. But you're really close. May or may not be appropriate, adequate, enough. May or may not be enough to do what you want to do. If I want to get 30% awareness in my target audience and I've only got $500 to spend because that's 5% of sales, ain't going to happen. Another approach is you figure out what the competition is spending and you spend appropriate to, or the level of the competition. I think this is a horrible idea, and you all know this is a horrible idea because we've talked about positioning. Why is it a horrible idea to set your promotions budget at what the competition is doing?
You don't have any advantage.
Say again?
You don't create an advantage.
You don't create an advantage? So if my competitor is Coca-Cola, and I match what Coca-Cola is spending in advertising, is that going to mean anything? Because Coca-Cola has such a strong position in the marketplace, I have to spend a lot more than Coca-Cola to break through, to get attention. Similarly, if I am Coca-Cola, Why would I worry about what Pepsi spends? Or why would I worry about what Brusco spends on? I'm looking at so it doesn't seem like a smart way to establish your budget is just to go with what the competition is doing. Another common approach is just, this is all I can afford. That's our promotion budget. And we've already talked about why this would be a dumb idea. I'm sorry, ill-advised. I didn't mean to be judgmental. Why would it be ill-advised? Kind of before. So my marketing budget or my promotions budget is, all I can afford is $500. Should I spend $500? Or is that like not going to do anything, keep the money in your pocket? Or if I can afford $10 million, do I really need to spend $10 million to accomplish what I want to do? Maybe I'm just throwing money away. So the idea is that all you can afford pays no attention to what your objectives are, what you're trying to accomplish, and how much it might cost. It's just totally, we'll spend what we can and hope for the best. And then the last method, and again, this is the one that I would highly recommend, is the objective task method. And with the objective task method, you determine what activities need to happen in order for you to accomplish your promotional objectives. How much are each of those activities going to cost, and you add them up, and that is your promotional budget. Obviously, that's the best approach because you're funding your promotional budget at the level you need to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Why doesn't everybody do it that way? Well, it's because they haven't taken this class. Maybe if more people took Principles Marketing at San Francisco State, we'd see more effective promotion. It's hard. It's a complicated process, and one of the realities of the business world is because there's a lag between when the budget is approved, when the investment is made, and when the results happen. Many times the person who is responsible when the budget was made is no longer the person responsible when the results come in. So there's a tendency to want to go to something that's relatively easy to compute and that I can take immediate credit for if things go good or bad.